Hello, this is Daniel Mart, and today I'm going to be doing another review. This time around, I'm going to be doing a review for the Divergent sequel, Insurgent. So yeah, I watched Divergent last year. I thought it was a pretty good movie, and I rewatched it a couple of times. And it's now Divergent is one of those movies where I have a hate love relationship with it. I put it in my top 10 worst movies of 2014. I'm pretty sure it was like number 9. Um, because is some enjoyment to finding that movie. At the same time, there's a lot of stuff to hate about that movie. And now I'm reviewing the next movie. So yeah, this movie stars Kate Winslet, Jake Courtney, Shailene Woodley, Mackay Pfeiffer, Mackay Pfeiffer, Theo James, Miles Teller, Andrew Elgort, Octavia Spencer, Zoe Kravitz, Ray Stevenson, Johnny Weston, Naomi Watts, Suki Waterhouse, Maggie Q, Daniel Day Kim, and David Laudry, David Laudry, and Justine Washburn. Um, and yeah, before I begin though, 10-second spoiler warning as usual for those that have yet to actually watch the movie and haven't already. Stop the video, go check it out, and then come back and watch the rest of this review. 10-second spoiler warning as usual, starting now. Okay, so 10 seconds are up. So for those that get to actually watch the movie and haven't already, please don't comment down below or be messaging me. That I never give you a fair warning because as usual I did. So yeah, just like I stated in the beginning of this video, for Divergent, I had a hate love relationship. There's some aspects I loved about the film and I really enjoyed, and then there's aspects about the movie that I really disliked. And just at some point, I decided to put in my top 10 worst films of 2014 at about number 9. Yeah, but my original score for Divergent was number 7. And the reason I'm stating that is because with Insurgent, it's kind of the same situation. There's some things I really enjoy about the film, and then there's some things that I just really do not like about the film. So basically, in this film, you have Kate Winslet, and basically she's really just trying to open this box. I mean, that's really all she's really trying to do. She's trying to open this box, that's can only be opened by a divergent, that's 100% divergent. Apparently, there's a scale of how much of a divergent you are, and you have to be at least 100% to open the box. So that means you have to be a total divergent. And it just so happens that Triss, played by Shailene Woodley, is 100% divergent. So now she has to open the box. And yeah, so as I said before, there's some things to really like about the film, and some things to really loathe about the film. So and yeah, I will say right off the bat that the action scenes are actually pretty great. They're always very fun to look at. They're very great. They're very well done. Whether they be in a dream sequence or be in an actual real life sequence, real life for the movies. Kind of had this feel, which the previous one had. But I think here they tried to push it a bit more, in which it was basically said that discrimination is not good, and it kind of bring that full circle at the end of the film where they basically have once they open the box, spoilers. They basically says that divergence are the key to happiness or whatever, the key to society being successful. And then the message in the box says that you must now all put your differences aside and actually communicate with each other. There shall be no more separation. So the discrimination fact about it, the discrimination message about it, is actually pretty well done and pretty good. Despite it being short but sweet, bittersweet, it's actually pretty good. The acting is okay. I do think the acting could be better. I do think the acting could be better. Aside from that, that's basically it for the positives. Now to the negatives, and there's a lot. The love story between Four and Triss is, I don't want to say heavy-handed because it's not really heavy-handed, but when there is, it's just a little bit too much. And I'm not saying it's heavy-handed because it's not like they show it in every other scene, but a few times they do show it, which is some scenes, it's a bit too much, and that's what I'm saying. There's also a lot of stuff that just happens. Despite the fact that the action scenes are great, I do feel like there's a lot of action scenes that just happen just because they need another action scene. So yeah, some of the some of the dialogue, some of the writing throughout the movie isn't really that good. Borderline illogical, just because of the decisions that the characters are making makes no sense logically to do something. When I mean, literally, I was thinking of me and my stepbrother because it was hilarious. Me and my stepbrother, we had the theater to ourselves. So every time there was something that just didn't make sense, we will both straight up say bullshit, and it really didn't matter because we were alone in the theater. That was hilarious. Um, so we had a lot of bullshit moments, and throughout the movie, there was a lot of bullshit moments. Whether it be dialogue wise or just action wise, or why did that happen when it didn't really have to happen. So yeah, honestly, the movie is a bit predictable at times. So yeah, I mean, as I said before, it's parts of the movie you're gonna enjoy, and other parts of the movie you're just gonna kind of loathe. Miles Teller, he's an interesting character. His character is pretty interesting. And I think out of all the characters, he's probably the smartest. I think out of every single character here, Miles Teller's character is probably the smartest because at the beginning of the film, and he kind of explains this at the end, that at the end of the film, he says he didn't betray anybody. He always just had he was just always 5 steps ahead of everybody. He doesn't say it directly. He says it indirectly. He basically says that he's gonna do whatever it takes to survive, and his friends to survive, even if that means betraying them at the moment, and that he's always about 5, 10, 15 steps ahead of the system. So at the beginning of the movie, he betray or we think he betrays Four and Triss and Ansel Elgart's character, and now he goes on, and then you think he betrays them to make him seem more of a douchebag. The traitor, he goes to Kate Winslet and says, this is a possible way you could defeat Triss. Then he helps Triss get out of a possible death, helps Ford get out of a possible death, helps them escape, and he's a really interesting character. And I think, ironically, he's actually my favorite character right now. With this movie, that kind of solidifies the fact that he's my favorite character. Because in the first movie, he did the same thing. He was always a couple steps ahead. When the first movie, he was a bit more of a douchebag about it. And it seemed like he was doing it more for his own selfish needs. In this film, it kind of seems like he was doing it for, aside from his own selfish needs, for other people. So yeah, it's some pretty good development. I mean, overall, the character development was okay. It was pretty decent, not the best, but it was still pretty good. So yeah, Ansel Elgart's character though, what a fucking pussy. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Ansel Elgart's character is just a fucking pussy. They write him out to be a pussy because he kills one person throughout the film, and afterwards he's like scared shitless to do anything. He's a puss basically. And also, there's this one thing that one of the biggest bullshit moments me and my stepbrother had. There's this one when they introduced Naomi Watts. They introduced her as or Theo James' mother in the film, and Theo James and Naomi Watts, they're like about the same age. If anything, I'm pretty sure Naomi Watts is like a couple years younger than Theo James. I'm not completely sure, but I'm pretty sure they're about the same age. So we both called out bullshit. It was just hilarious. So yeah, I mean, overall, so again, some things are gonna hate, some things are gonna like about it. So yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and 6 being decent, I give it a 6 out of 10. It's a pretty decent film. And yeah, that's basically it for this review. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, and comic book reviews. Comment down below on your thoughts on the movie if you've seen it already, and if not, why not? If you have, what are your thoughts on it? Like the video, share on Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, or whatever you guys prefer. Follow me on Instagram, in which I post stuff about TV shows, movies, and comics. And aside from that, that's basically it for now. This is Daniel Mart signing off.